anyone can learn to sing. Language analogy. People can learn different languages. Once you're an adult, you can learn how to speak in a different language. إذا هلا حكيت معكم أنا بالعربي ما بتفهموا علي لأن بحكي عربي. I just said if I speak to you guys in Arabic, you won't understand me because I'm speaking Arabic. The sound of the different language, I'm speaking Lebanese or speaking Lebanese, it's very different than the language you will already know. When you're learning to speak a new language, you go through a lot of not just learning of words, but like how to read a word or something, but it's how to say the word and then how to say it within the sentence. There's a certain pitch and rhythm to it, as well as sound creation. You might have to learn or like in Arabic. We got some letters that aren't common in English. For example, we never say aini, my eyes, like my eye, aini, or Rashid, my name. It's got a little bit of a r instead of Rashid, Rashid. There's a bit of a r. So these are like skills you use in your mouth and all that kind of stuff. The way you learn to do this, singing is the same. I used language because language it's similar because you're using your voice, right? Some people think, but singing is different because you're not using your voice. Singing is different because using your voice, and your voice is sort of inbuilt. It's kind of like your eyes, right? Your eyes are brown or hazel or green or whatever, and you can't really change it. Same with the voice, you can't really change it. That's how you sound. Yes, it's true, that's how you sound, the way your voice sounds, but you can modify the way it sounds. One example is when people do imitation, okay? They sound like a different person. So they've learned how to modify their voice to sound like another person. Same when you're singing, you're learning to modify the way your voice sounds so that you sound closer to what another person sounds like. Now, you're not trying to exactly imitate what the person sounds like 100% in their tone, but you're trying to imitate what they're doing, how long they hold notes for, that kind of stuff, like what notes they're actually singing, how they say words. So it's the same when you're learning a language. You learn how... The thing is, you don't hold words for as long as you hold notes when you're singing. And the notes when you're speaking aren't separated like... the notes when you're singing are very separated, whereas when you're speaking, they're all kind of blurred together. Sliding together. Like there's a more... like there's a certain... It's a different kind of pitch. It's like... It's more rhythmic. The pitch is not the same as when you sing. So it's not the exact same analogy, but you can learn because you learn how to copy the teacher. When the teacher fixes you, you learn how to do those fixes. You learn how to copy. You already know how to sing. You already know how to copy someone. You just don't do it accurately. So the way that you would learn language, we all know we can learn languages. It's not like a myth or a mystery. We know how. You just copy someone who can already do it. And then you need a teacher that breaks it down enough, that breaks down that word of that language down enough, and then tells you how to say it, the pitch, enough so that you get it. Same with singing. You need someone to the teacher breaks down the phrase for you enough to meet you where you're at, where you're having your problem. So you might not know how to go, you might go, or instead of you might go like a bit higher. You might go like just a tiny bit off. That tiny bit off makes you sound wrong when you sing. Same with language. You say a word a little bit different, it sounds wrong. I speak in an Australian kind of accent, right? Now, if I speak in a slightly different accent and I mixed, say, American and Australian, and I mix them together or something, I'll sound like weird. Someone will go, you sound weird. Because they're like, where do you belong? Do you have an Australian accent? Do you have like an accent from Sydney or from like Northern Territory or like another state or another suburb or something, right? Same in America, they got accents. And as soon as they say words slightly differently, people categorize you. Oh, you talk like such and such. Your language is like such and such. Same with singing. As soon as you change your singing a little bit, oh, you sound like rock. Oh, you sound like R&B. You sound like pop. You sound like opera. You sound like whatever the genre. And then within that genre, you sound like such and such singer. You sound like Michael Bublé. You sound like blah, blah, blah. It's all because of the way you modify how you say words and how you sing notes and all the things that are involved with singing, vibrato, runs, the way you say words, lyric pronunciation, how you hit notes, slides, how you bend through notes, all that kind of stuff, your volume, the way you look when you sing, what kind of faces do you do, what kind of body movement do you do. You're usually modeling a singer that you already like. And then maybe you're modeling lots of singers, and then you end up creating this new whoever you are, this new Rashid, this new whatever your name is, insert your name, and you become a unique artist. But what you want to do in a singing lesson, as opposed to a language lesson, is of course learn how to sing notes, learn the elements of singing. So the things I just mentioned, vibrato, pronunciation, runs, lyrics, pitch, accuracy, range, volume, all that kind of stuff. But in language, they got their sets of rules. So how you say words, how you say words as part of a sentence, context, he, she, plurals, etc. All these kind of things. Every language has those things that are the set of rules for all languages. Same with singing. There's those rules, but they apply for singing. Teachers have worked out how to teach you. So anyone can copy. If you have a voice, you can modify how your voice sounds. If you can learn to speak a language, you can learn to sing. Because singing is just manipulating your voice to make new sounds. You might think you can't do it because you don't know what it takes. You don't know what you don't know, right? But you come to the teacher, and then when you're in the class, you're like, oh, is that how you create that? Oh, okay. I never thought of that. Well, yeah, because you didn't go out and learn or seek that, right? And then there's another experience of when you do it for a while, you begin to have more of those, oh, okay, so that's how it works. You begin to know, because it's one thing like to be told, this is how you do vibrato, this is how you do a run, this is how you sing like a professional or on key. But it's another thing to come to the class every week and get slightly better, or practicing on your own in between classes, getting slightly better. Then you come to class, or you send me a message and you're like, oh man, like my vibrato is getting really good. Or I feel like I'm much better on key now. I'm hearing the mistakes that I'm making. And this happens over lots of practices. So most of my students do this. They'll send me a message, or I'll see them next lesson, and they'll tell me, I feel like I'm really getting key now. I feel like that nothing major. It's not like, oh, I fully get it now and I've got 100%. It doesn't work like that. It takes ages. It takes time. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks before you even see, like, you'll see tiny changes. Your understanding improves like a little tiny bit. You know, it's like a mountain. Each time, a large mountain, each time you improve, it feels like just one step. But that one step ends up adding up to the mountain over time. Okay? But when you're practicing, or when you're learning by yourself, you come and you get excited, right? You say to me, oh, I'm excited because you took that one step. Because that one step is more than nothing. That one step is important because it's a one step in the direction of what you're trying to get to. And this is something that you never understood how to do before. Okay, same with language. If you go to a language teacher, they'll tell you how to speak. And you'll be like, is that how you say that? And then you say it and you sound like a baby. You don't know how to talk, right? Like if people hear me talk Arabic, they go, oh, you sound a bit like a baby. Because I don't use Lebanese that much. I'm in Australia. So my Lebanese is probably like limited in how I sound. Oh, you sound like a kid speaking, probably, make fun of me. So same with language. If you hear maybe a singer sing in a different language, to the person of that language, they go, oh, yeah, he sounds a bit like a baby or something, or like a kid, because they don't know, they're still learning how to say the words right. They haven't perfected it. So, you don't know what you don't know. You come to a teacher and they break those things down for you, okay? If you don't see progress, if you don't see like that one step, if you're not seeing that in the lesson, and when you're practicing at home, if you're not seeing it nearly every time you practice, something's wrong. The teacher's advice is not right, or you're not following the advice correctly, and you need to check, to get a check again, check with the teacher again, or get a different teacher. So, can you learn to sing? Of course, anyone can learn. I get emails, sometimes people tell me, do you think I have potential? If you can speak, you can learn. It doesn't matter how bad you are or how good you are, you can get better than you are. It really doesn't matter. Potential is, throw that out. Don't worry about it. There's no such thing as, do I have potential? The answer is, it's like saying, do you think you could teach someone how to do like addition? When I hear someone say, do I have potential? It's like, well, do you have a voice? You can learn how to use it. That's it. You just don't know how to use it. And society has told us that only natural people can learn how to sing, which is wrong. Anyone can learn. We figured out how to teach people. Okay? I hope to see you guys in a lesson. I'm Rashid Hayek, rnbsinglessons.com for lesson details. See you guys soon.